taken a selfless oath to defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that is exactly what they were doing when they were gunned down in a savage attack.
Speaking from Mar-a-Lago in Florida tonight, President Donald Trump there, who released this video statement at 9:15. We have more late-breaking developments. The ambush attack of the 2 National Guard members in Washington, 1 block from the White House. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. The president sending 500 more troops to D.C., ordering them to leave for the Capitol tonight. Also tonight, the FBI investigating the shooting as potential terrorism. ABC News says the suspect in custody is from Afghanistan. Take a look at this map. The shooting happening very close to the White House just after 2 o'clock this afternoon near a metro train station. The assistant D.C. police chief saying the attack is a targeted ambush. Now authorities say they've narrowed down the suspect. The identity of the suspect is a man from Afghanistan, aged 29 years old. He entered the United States in 2021 and has been living in Washington ever since. Washington State ever since, excuse me. His motive still unknown as the FBI investigates for potential international terrorism. Here's ABC's Alex Stone bringing us the very latest.
Only 2 blocks away from the White House, 2 National Guard members met with gunfire in what investigators are saying was a targeted shooting.
It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised a firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard.
While a motive is not yet clear, sources tell ABC News the FBI is currently investigating the shooting as a potential act of international terrorism, suggesting authorities are trying to determine if it was inspired by an international terrorist organization. Witnesses say at around 2 in the afternoon near a metro station where the National Guard was on patrol, the shooter raised his arm and opened fire. The suspected shooter is an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in 2021.
Let's start moving!
The glass in a nearby bus shelter shattered. ABC News cameraman Chris Plater telling our ABC's Jay O'Brien he heard the gunfire and went toward it to get images like these.
One National Guard was lying on his side. They were rendering aid to him. The other National Guard member that was down, and I saw compressions going on.
The victims, both National Guard members from West Virginia, who were on orders from the president to help reduce crime in the nation's capital. Investigators say the gunman was tracking the National Guardsmen before opening fire. The alleged shooter, authorities say, was subdued by other Guard members and was taken into custody, critically injured himself.
We will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that.
In the wake of the shooting, President Trump is ordering the Pentagon to send an additional 500 National Guard troops to Washington. Trump saying on social media the man who opened fire will, quote, pay a very steep price. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Today, while at Fort Campbell in Kentucky, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, had this to say after learning about the shooting.
It's a somber reminder that soldiers, whether they're active duty, reserve, or National Guard, our soldiers are the sword and the shield of the United States of America. And as a person who goes into work every single day in that building and knows that there are a lot of people who wear the uniform of the United States Army, let me just say very personally, thank them for what they're doing. We're grateful to them.
Our company-owned station in Washington, D.C., WUSA, is also providing original reporting on the attack that you can see right now on our website, WHAS11.com, and download the free WHAS11 Plus app on your TV or phone to receive new updates. All news since 6 happening here at home tonight. A few businesses near the UPS plane crash site are now back open for the first time in 3 weeks. Louisville Metro government announcing that they were moving one of their blockades on Grade Lane further back. WHAS 11 team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Aspen Hester talked with a business owner tonight and a customer about regaining access.
All types of metal for cash. It's a business some Louisvillians rely on.
Just collecting up a little scrap, a little junk around the house and coming to get a little extra money. Man, I found out it was closed. I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do for gas today?
Customers like Fairdale resident William Monday are glad Rusty Rooster Recycling has reopened. So is the co-owner, Thomas Brooks.
They're happy to see us and we're happy to see them, especially after, 3 weeks it's felt kind of longer. It's felt like 3 months.
Rusty Rooster is just down the road from the fatal UPS plane crash that claimed the lives of 14 people and injured 23 others. On Wednesday, Louisville Metro government moved their police blockade closer to Don Hudson Boulevard and Grade Lane, allowing businesses like this one to welcome back customers.
On a business like this, that basically without customers, you're not a business anymore. It was, not great, but at the same time, we recognize it could have been a lot worse.
Although this area was spared, Brooks says people are still shaky from the tragedy.
For the first few days afterwards, everybody here, when a plane, went by, everybody kind of stopped. And, I wasn't expecting that, but they made everybody kind of nervous.
Thankfully, Rusty Rooster has a mascot, bringing up morale at the shop.
Do you know this rooster?
Actually, yes.
Tell me about the rooster.
That's Rusty. Makes me happy. I literally sat here for an extra 15 minutes just joking about the rooster and stuff.
It's a small way of coping, coming back slowly from the dark moment surrounding their neighbor, Grade A.
We continue to pray for them, their families, the staff over there, and just everything that they're going through, and that, and this, the whole thing that they're dealing with, grieving and then rebuilding. Our heart goes out to them.
Jose, you were joining us live at 6 o'clock down there at the scene, right near this new blockade. And of course, you've been down to Grade Lane several times since the November 4th crash. What was it like being closer to the crash site? Was it much different from what you've seen so far?
Doug, vastly different. I mean, what we could see from there, still not any specific signs of that crash, but we're able to see a lot of cleanup crews just working back and forth, going in and out of that blockade. Again, we really had to zoom in to kind of see more of those details. But we also saw signage to businesses that are still unable to return to their property, like Stooges Bar and Grill. And first, I want to show you again the photo our Reed Yaden took from the air in the days after the crash. This shows you the gash on the rooftop of the UPS warehouse at the end of the runway, the left landing gear of the jet scraping it before it crashed. Now let's go to our new video tonight for a closer look at the damage. Take a look at this video we just took south of the airport. Photojournalist Aspen Hester and I spotted what appears to be where the cargo jet made contact with the UPS warehouse building just behind this tree line. I wasn't able to see this last week from the ground, but now that some leaves have fallen, we got a glimpse of the impact. Reporting live in studio, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
All right, thank you for that observation, Jose. Well, the other big story on this night before Thanksgiving is the Arctic air sweeping into Kentuckiana. If you've been outside, you have certainly felt it. We've got clear skies and even some wind chill temperatures tonight. It's going to be really cold Thanksgiving tomorrow, and our chief meteorologist Mallory Schnell is here right now with me. And Mallory, with those winds today, you can almost feel it getting colder by the hour today.
Yes.
It's dropping pretty fast.
Yeah, so as we were mentioning last night on the night team, temperatures topped out in the mid to upper 50s at midnight. They dropped down into the mid 40s at 7 o'clock this morning, and then we stayed in the low to mid 40s all day. It felt even colder than that because we had wind chills in the 30s. That was due to those gusty winds, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour at times today. Temperatures right now, we're sitting at 38 in Louisville, 38 in Bowling Green, 35 in Cincinnati. You can see some colder air just off to our north and northwest. And cloud cover that is just now moving back in. This will actually help us a bit tonight. It'll prevent those temperatures from completely bottoming out, but we're still expecting lows to dip down into the upper 20s and lower 30s by early Thanksgiving morning. So expect those clouds to continue to increase. We still have a breeze out there, 10 to 12 miles per hour. And for our Thanksgiving day, clouds will gradually decrease, but those high temperatures will only be topping out around that 40-degree mark. We'll talk much more about our 7-day forecast and when we could see a wintry mix. That's coming up in just a bit, Doug.
Mallory, thank you very much. Back to coverage from Fort Campbell today. As we showed you, the Vice President was there, J.D. Vance, along with his wife, the Second Lady, Usha Vance, along with their children, and they arrived to give a helping hand there at Fort Campbell. The Vice President and his family spent their day serving meals to the troops at the Fort Campbell Dining Hall. He also made some remarks to the troops while also addressing today's shooting in Washington. Vance served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 2003 to 2007. And now we turn to Fort Knox, where we've been talking with military families for the first time since the government shutdown impacted their ability to pay their bills or even buy groceries. The Warrior Warehouse Pantry at Fort Knox started 10 years ago, but it has also served families without paychecks during the recent government shutdown. The founder, Amy Grimm, says the shutdown may be over, but the need is still so great before Thanksgiving.
We had 87 one night, and it was over 90 the next, and then it was like 120. Got the bills paid, but now I gotta eat. That's where we're at.
The Warrior Warehouse accepts clothing and household donations throughout the year, primarily to help military families who are in transition. The horrific scene unfolding in Hong Kong, 7 apartment buildings on fire. Now 3 men connected to their renovation have been arrested. It's new at 11, right after.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $80 million. Powerball, $681 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million